Hello, everyone. This is Tom from VoIP Supply. Thank you very much for joining us today. I have Chris Dow from Grandstream with us. He will be going through some of the new exciting products Grandstream's coming out with, specifically more on the Wi-Fi end between access points, new phones and such. Very cool stuff coming up here in the roadmap for Grandstream, so I'm excited to have him here with us to speak to that. So some of you may know all of these benefits, but for those of you who may be newer to dealing with VoIP supply, some of our reseller benefits are our VoIP rental program. We have hardware and provisioning, where we can provision hardware, blind ship it to your customers or to yourself. So everything's pre-provisioned, ready to go out of the box. We have our Cloud Spam Marketplace, where you can sign up in our partner program and utilize any of the providers that we are master agents for, and you can collect commissions and residuals off of that. We have our fulfillment program, which also includes the provisioning side of things, but that's kind of more in-depth, where you have your own API to log in, place orders, you can view inventory live, and have everything blind drop shipped out to your customers, so everything's arriving fully provisioned, ready to go for them. Then we have our refresh and reclaim, which is a great way to make a little money or save a little money. We'll buy back some old equipment. We do not accept everything, but there's a lot of voice over IP telephony equipment that we will buy back and get you cash, and you could use that toward new gear or just get a check from us. Or you can take a look at our refresh program, which is all refurbished by VoIP Supply, certified by us. Goes through our refresh process. We'll save you a bunch of money, and it's all A-stock equipment, so you're getting a good product at a very cheap price. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Chris Dow, and he's going to take it from here.
Cool. Thanks, Tom. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're joining us on this fine Tuesday. If anyone has any questions, feel free to use the Q bubble, and Tom can answer, or myself can here when we wrap up, or feel free to shoot those through the text box. So like Tom was saying, we'll be going through really some of the newer releases that we've had the last month or two, and then even talk about some of the upcoming releases that we have coming in July and August. You'll see a common theme. Will really revolve around networking, and then we have a couple endpoints, as well as some facility access stuff as well. So kind of a full breadth of the portfolio, if you will. Many of you that have been selling Grandstream know that we really believe in connecting the world. That's our mantra per se, and we've been doing it for 20 years. This is our 20th anniversary actually at Grandstream. So a lot of you are probably doing endpoints like you see in the bottom right here, or even the top left, top right, depending upon if you're doing GRPs, desk phones, video phones, or some of the mobility solutions. But Grandstream does connect, or believe in connecting the world through networking, facility access, video conferencing, the rest of the stuff that you see in the portfolio here. Wi-Fi access points in particular, since that'll be kind of the first product we touch on. There is Wi-Fi 6 out there. So what is Wi-Fi 6? Why should you choose Wi-Fi 6? That's essentially a global improvement technology, if you will, where users experience lower latency and security is kind of the two big things. So you'll see with our new access points, they are Wi-Fi 6. The other thing I want to point out is networking is our fastest growing product line. So you'll see a little bit of the portfolio, the newer parts at least, here today, a few management options, and also some of the newer products we have coming out here later in 2022. Part of what's driving that growth is Grandstream is a member of the Wi-Fi Alliance now, which is a worldwide network of companies that essentially bring Wi-Fi products. So it is big from a adoption and evolution standpoint within that alliance. Now, Looking at some of the products that we have just released or about to release, a couple different options here as far as the GWN 7664 and the 7664LR. Now, if you have been deploying some of our older access points, this is going to be the Wi-Fi 6 cousin, if you will, or brother of the GWN 7630 and 7630LR. So with the 7664 here, it's going to be a 4x4 access point, which is what that 7630 is, which has actually been our top selling unit-wise access point over the last couple of years. So this is going to be a 4x4. You will be able to support up to 750 concurrent clients with a coverage range up to 175 meters. And then, as I mentioned, a couple different management options, which I'll touch on in a minute. Now, for those of you that might be ubiquity resellers where you can't get stock, this is where that 7664 would slot in with that ecosystem. So it would compare pretty similarly to the U6LR or the U6 Pro, depending upon what you're using there. So a good replacement if you cannot get your hands on one of those ubiquity options. Now with the 7664, like the 7664LR, sorry, like the 7664, this is going to be a 4x4 access point, so very similar to that 7630LR. Like its twin from a indoor side, it's going to support up to 750 concurrent clients with the coverage range up to 300 meters. So this is our outdoor long-range access point. Being that it is a long-range access point, it does have 4 detachable antennas. So those do come in the box. You can swap those out for other generic antennas if you needed to. And then like its twin on the indoor side, a few different management options from a cloud software and embedded controller standpoint. Like I said, both support up to 70 or 750 concurrent Wi-Fi devices there. The other access point I want to touch on, we released last week, actually. So the GWN 7625. This is a Wi-Fi 5 AP, so it's not 6. But this is our first hybrid AP. And what I mean by that is you get 4x4 and 2x2, depending upon what band you're using. So you'll get 4x4 on the 5G band and 2x2 on the 2.4G band. This will support up to 200 concurrent Wi-Fi devices and also has anti-hacking, secure boot, and the whole 9 yards as far as from a technology standpoint. So what do I mean by hybrid? So this will slot right in between the 7615 and the 7630. So you get a little bit of the 7630 technology without having to pay for the full 7630. So that's why that hybrid AP, or where that hybrid AP slots into our portfolio. And then you'll see that GWN 7664 there on the right-hand side, which is the first one I talked about. That is our 4x4 Wi-Fi 6 AP, which is the newer technology version of the 7630. So this is our full indoor AP portfolio as it stands right now. And here is our full outdoor portfolio as it stands right now. Actually, I just noticed I have a typo there, so sorry. So the GWN 7664 LR, it should say 7664 LR on the right-hand side. That's that new one we touched on and is the Wi-Fi 6 version of the 7630 LR. Now, touched on this briefly, but a few different management options for those of you not familiar with our access point portfolio. A lot, I think all but 2 of our APs have embedded controllers in them. So you can set up a master AP and control the rest of the APs in that ecosystem directly from there. We also have both a cloud and on-premise option if you wanted to go that route as well. So GWN.cloud, that's obviously the cloud-based platform or cloud solution. It's free to use. There's no limit on the number of APs. You can actually go to GWN.cloud and sign up for an account today if you needed to. GWN Manager is the local server deployment. So that's the on-prem deployment. It is also a free download, so free to use. The only caveat with that one compared to the cloud-based platform is you do have a 3,000 AP unit limit, I guess I should say, on that one. Now, getting away from access points and into some of the other newer products in the portfolio, a couple new WP models that we have coming out. Actually, the 822 came out last week, Thursday, I believe to be exact. And then we have the 825 coming out probably the first part of July, right after the holiday, which the 825 is going to be our first ruggedized model in this family. So with the 822, again, launched it last week. This is, I guess you could say a newer WP820 for those of you that have been using that in the past. The big difference, I'll say, is this 822 is a Linux-based phone, very similar to what you get with the WP810. The 820 was Android, so it is a different operating system underneath the hood. But it is also going to have a little bit better battery, talk time, standby life, etc. Like the 820 or even the 810 for that matter, you have the push-to-talk buttons. You also have integrated Bluetooth on these devices as well for headset capabilities. With the 825, again, probably looking at early July from a timeline on this. The big note on this one is this will be our first ruggedized model in our WP series. There's been a lot of asks about that, so we're finally launching our first ruggedized model. Like the 810 and 822, it's going to be Linux underneath the hood. For those of you that care about that, it's going to have push to talk, the configurable button for that. We'll have integrated Bluetooth. Same battery as the other one, 8 hours talk time, 2 hours standby. Then you get all the benefits of the noise shield technology on top of the waterproof and drop safe with it. Now, another part of the portfolio is our facility access. So for those of you familiar with our GDS 3710, from a audio video standpoint, the 3705 just for the audio standpoint, we have just launched our new, I'll call it single button GDS 3702. So it's a little bit more basic from what we've had out in the market, but being that it's basic, comes with an advantageous price point, if you will. So our 3702 here is what that looks like more blown up. We do have different HD audio options. You can see the meters there for the input and output, so pretty good range. Think, outside of, like an apartment building or something like that. Someone pulls up, needs to get in. This is a open SIP device, like many or if not all of the other devices are. So you could set this up as an extension on your IP-PBX, but it also supports SIP calls to IP phones to facilitate communication. It's built with a metal casing, so it is weatherproof, vandal resistant. It's hard to steal without cutting the dang thing out. It's going to have a couple different relays for an electrical lock and alarm out, and then a couple different relays for the alarm in, exit button, door sensor. Whole 9 yards there. This is a integrated PoE device, so PoE would power that. And as I mentioned with the first bullet point, it does have a built-in microphone and speaker for the intercom functionality up front with that range that you see up there as well. Now, looking ahead to some of the other products that we have coming out in July and August. The first one I'm personally excited for. This is our first in-wall Wi-Fi access point. So those of you might be familiar with our GWN 7602. It's going to be kind of similar to that, except the 7602 was more built to mount on like underneath a table or something along those lines. This will actually go right over the Ethernet drop in the wall and will sit in the wall. So you see the back plate, which is on the far left, that's the part against the wall. The AP itself will pop into that, screw into that, and then you have the cover on the front to make it nice and neat and not industrial looking, so to speak. So we expect this to play pretty big in the hospitality sector, especially when you're looking at the, putting internet into various hotel rooms and whatnot there. But also this would work in educational environments, business environments, even residential environments with homes having drops now. So I'm personally excited for this one. And another big topic lately has been routers. So for those of you that have been deploying our GWN 7000s, you'll know we really haven't had any in the market for a few months now, primarily because they got old, phased out a little bit from a technology standpoint, but the components just became hard to buy with all the chipset constraints going on. So we turned our attention to making new routers. So we have two different options coming out, the 7052 and the GWN 7062. The main difference, I guess, is the 7052 is going to be a Wi-Fi 5 router. The 7062 is going to be Wi-Fi 6. So that third number in there will tell you Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi 6. The 52 also is going to have, we didn't have a picture of it yet, but it's going to be more residential looking. So it's going to have the antennas on the back of it. Both of these pictures here are the Wi-Fi 6 unit, which, as you can see, looks sleek. Can sit on a countertop or on an entertainment center, whatever it may be. So we do have new routers coming out. Hopefully, looking at July, mid-July, assuming everything goes to plan from now to then. So that's what we have coming out on the router side. And I believe that's all I have. So through Tom and I's contact information here, if you need anything, feel free to get in contact with either one of us. But that's pretty much all I got for today.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Chris. Did have a question here for you in regards to the Wi-Fi phones. With the new phones coming out, are the older phones going to go EOL?
Not anytime soon, no. So the WP810 we just launched, maybe a year or so ago. That's here to stay. The 822 has been a staple. At some point down the line, I could see the 820 going away, but that's not going to happen in the next 12 months. And
as for the routers, when do we see those becoming actually available to ship?
Yeah, so we're hoping for the middle of July, assuming everything goes to plan from now until then. We got a lot of the hardware done. We're just waiting on some of the firmware stuff to get finalized a little bit. So hopefully after the holiday.
Great. And I don't see any other questions here. I do want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day and spending a little time here with myself and Chris. Some awesome stuff coming out here. Definitely pretty exciting seeing a bunch of the stuff that can, kind of supplement the ubiquity and such, like Chris said, because there are very constrained right now and all that stuff. So to have another option is fantastic.
Right on.
I just want to thank Chris for his time today, and we'll see you guys again next time.
Appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you.